Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. As as usual, I'm doing another video about something Project Farm recommended, which is this Corona razor tooth saw. Now I've had my Silky Pocket Boy 130 for a couple of years now. This actually came at the recommendation of Wrangler Star. Really have enjoyed having this saw. Now, if you're not familiar with this type of saw, these are kind of foldable saws. You always have to be very careful when you fold them because these teeth are like not only super sharp, but they also kind of like, they have like a clingy quality to them, so they can cling to your skin and they can cause cuts like that. And mine's gotten a little tough over the years to kind of close and open. I think I can just, I need to just clean it and oil it a bit, maybe take it apart and get rid of some of the wood that's gotten stuck in there. And you can see how easy this is to close by comparison. Yeah, so these saws are great. And I didn't think it was going to get a lot better than this Silky because there's a lot I like about this saw. First, it makes cutting a total pleasure. And what kind of stuff do you use this for? Okay, so these are, to me, I don't know what other people use them for. By the way, this Silky comes with this really nice case that you can use to carry it. You know, you can loop this in your belt or whatever. I do like the case. I don't really like the belt clip. I think I would prefer an actual clip. A couple of things to get out of the way. These are not really the same size. And this has two locking positions, this kind of straight locking position, and then a more open locking position like that. I usually use it in this position here. And this just has the one locking position. So let's do a little bit of measurement before we kind of talk about the saw quality and whatnot. This thing is about 11 1/4 inches end to end. And the blade, really, the cutting part of the blade is only about 5 inches. Okay, and then this guy is a good 15 inches end to end, which is a lot bigger. And then the cutting surface is just about 6.5 to, let's say, 6 3/4 of actual teeth here. And then when they're folded, be super careful when I fold these. When they're folded, this one is a good 9 inches, and the Silky is about 6.5 inches. So realistically, you could put this in your pocket. Okay. Now, I'm not saying as a carry. You know, this could fit in your pocket if you're moving around your yard or whatever, and you're cutting stuff. You could easily slide this in your back pocket. This, not so much, but, you know, not too bad. Weight-wise, believe it or not, even though this is a lot smaller, it's heavier, okay? Yeah, definitely heavier, mostly because I feel the blade is thicker. I don't just feel it. The blade is a bit thicker. And then also this handle is made out of more of kind of like a softer rubber, and it's very full. And all of these parts up here are made out of steel, which is super nice. I mean, I feel like this little saw is probably going to last a lifetime. Of course, the teeth will wear out over time and whatnot, but the rest of the saw could easily last a lifetime. This, however, this does have a cheaper feel to it. I mean, I know it did better overall based on the test that Project Farm did. This Corona did a little bit better, and I don't know if I covered it or not, but this is called Corona RS 7245. Yeah, it did a little bit better overall. Actually, it did a lot better than this overall. I think more in cutting speed, and then holding the blade sharpness longer, which is important, very important, obviously, which is why I ended up buying one. I like having both of them now. This I like because of its portability, right? So I can This is just more portable, no question about that. This may be better for jobs where I'm cutting a lot longer, right, for a longer period of time. If I'm just cutting one or two branches out of the way, I'll probably take this. But if I have to cut a bunch of branches out or cut a bunch of wood out, then I'll probably take this guy. These things are very fast, by the way. If you're used to this style saw, and then also perhaps like that style saw. This is a folding saw. These are great for just, you know, regular homeowner type stuff you're gonna do. You only need one of the two, and I gotta say, price wise, I mean, you could buy a couple of these before you buy one of these. So I would say value. This kind of wins without question. But you know, durability and kind of long-term longevity and easier to carry, I still do really like this saw. I'm going to show you a little bit about how it cuts. The longer blade does help when you're trying to cut you know, thicker pieces of wood. So let's see how that works. The Silky Saw. I'm just going to cut about a 1/2 inch off of it. Blade's not hot at all. Cut really nice and smooth. So cuts really nice and straight, nice and smooth. A little bit of chip out, but again, this isn't like a carpentry saw or anything like that. Took a while to cut, but what's really nice is the blade being super strong does help with the cutting, because I don't have to be gentle. You notice how much force I was using there. The Corona. And you'll immediately see the strokes are a lot longer. This has fresher teeth, right? Because I've been using my Silky a while. The only problem with these saws is you kind of really need to form that first like groove for it to go. And these cut on the way back. So takes a minute to kind of get a little groove going. Yeah, so faster, right? Also not hot. Easy, like I don't even feel any temperature on either of them. Overall, I feel like the build quality on this is a little bit better. But this may be a more utilitarian saw. And the fact that it can be had at less than half the price is a good bargain, especially after the tests that Project Farm did showed that the blade actually lasts longer. It has like a plastic rocker up here. Obviously, no question about that. If there is some metal in here, it's very weak. Yeah, both of these are great, guys. I'll leave a link to both of them in the description. But if you don't have one of these folding saws, you're not going to regret owning one. Because if you got to go into your yard, cut a few branches out, trim a tree or something like that, this is actually a really great saw for that. It's also, as you saw, not bad at cutting nice straight lines. I feel like the Silky is a little bit better at cutting straight lines because of that stronger, the thicker blade. Okay. And the blade just feels This is, let's see if I can kind of demonstrate how flexible this blade is versus this blade. Actually, yeah, they both bow, but this one's a little less flexible. Of course, this one's shorter too, right? So that kind of would make sense to some extent. Quick jobs, longer cutting. And they both have like a little lanyard hole back down here, which is nice. They both look relatively easy to maintain. They, you know, taking out the blade and cleaning out in between, and then maybe perhaps one day changing out the blade. I've never tried to change out the blade. I've never needed to. Of course, this has probably gotten a little bit more dull over the years, but it hasn't been too bad, actually. Not sure what that little hole is for. If any of you know, enlighten me. So, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And would like to hear your comments. See if you use any of these two saws and how they've been performing for you. And link in the description. Thanks, guys. Click that subscribe button.